With this, let me welcome CA Rudramurthy of Vachna Investments. A very good afternoon, Mr. Murthy, and thank you so much for your time. First up, help us with your take on the benchmark indices because it's Nifty 50, which is still below that 24,000 mark, as well as Nifty Bank is also trading in the red. So do you expect some more recovery in the benchmark indices, or we could just be consolidating in a tight range?
Good afternoon and thanks so much for having me in the show. See, first of all, markets are highly oversold. So from these levels of around 23,800 where you have the 200-day moving average placed, Nifty can definitely see a bounce. And similarly, Bank Nifty from levels closer to that 51,000, 51,200, we can definitely see a bounce in both Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. But however, I am very clear, this market has turned into a sell on rise market, and especially on index level, any bounce from these oversold levels to closer to the 24,300, 24,400 will again be sold into. And similarly, Bank Nifty, any bounce to those levels closer to 52,600 to 53,000, again we will see sell off from those levels. So for very short term, yes, from these oversold zones you can expect a bounce, but eventually from those higher levels this market has turned into a sell on rise market, and I am not bullish on this market except for a short term bounce. Then again this market will continue its downturn. And for me, if 23,800 breaks on a closing basis decisively, we will go back and test those recent lows of around 23,200, and similarly Bank Nifty can even go as low as 49,800 to 50,000. So this market is a sell on rise market. Any short-term bounce which you get in this market, exit your trading long position and look at shorting if you have that kind of a precision in market. And you have to be very, very stock specific in this market and sector specific, and you have to choose the right ones to be on the long side.
Those sectors that one should choose as per your recommendations?
Yeah, Soumit, for me, IT definitely looks very, very strong. Even from current market price, there are good stocks to pick. It's a choice whether you want to go to stocks like Persistent System, Coforge, or even the Frontlines, Infosys, TCS, or even for that matter, Wipro, Tech Mahindra. All this looks very good for me. And in fact, for 2025, IT will be the sector of the year for me. And these are all the stocks which can do good. And for me, even bank looks very attractive. Might be now post the correction, private banks, whether you want to pick up HDFC, ICICI, or even go with PSU like SBI, for me that looks very, very strong. And after IT and banking, pharma even looks stronger to me. So it's a matter of choice whether you want to pick Dr. Reddy, Sun Pharma, Divi's Lab, Lupin. These are all stocks which can definitely do good. So for me, IT, pharma, banks will be the sectors to watch for 2025, and you have to be very stock specific when it comes to broader market. Yes, for me, a lot of good stocks where you still have valuation comfort and where the quarterly performance was still good. Those are stocks to look into. So look at stocks like, for example, Indus Tower, Indian Hotel for that matter, and even OMCs like HPCL, BPCL, IOC. So these are all stocks which you can look into where still some valuation comfort is there. And also metals for me looks good. So it's a choice again whether you want to go to Tata Steel, Vedanta. So these are all areas where still you have some amount of valuation comfort and results were comparatively better. You have to be very sector and stock specific right now. And two stocks, if I can recommend, both picking from IT, Wipro for me looks very, very strong. At current market price, it's a buy it on dips to 290, 300. Look at targets of 450, which is 50% from current market price. And I'm keeping a stop loss of 280 on closing basis. And another stock to buy will be Tech Mahindra, looking at targets of 2,300, and one can have a stop loss of 1,550 on Tech Mahindra. So two IT stocks, Wipro as well as Tech Mahindra, looks good for me.
All right, with this, Mr. Murthy, we'll let you go on that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and talking with us on the index, as well as also giving us your stock picks, and both the IT counters are on your radar. Interesting to note. But moving on then, let's go across to Ria for